Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Zvezda. It's a 1/48 scale aircraft kit which copies Yak-9D. It's a Soviet fighter aircraft, and kit comes as a new tooled plastic. So that's why it will be interesting to see what is actually included here. And this nice box was purchased with help of your donation, so I would like to say a special thank you for all of you who helped to get this box. And it will be interesting to see what is actually included here and why this model might be considered as one of the best Yak-9D in 1/48 scale. So first of all, I have to note that box art is really beautiful here. It looks really great, and I think it would be a great poster as well, but Zvezda unfortunately does not do such thing. Kit number is 4815, and here you can see comparison with my hand. It's a standard box for Zvezda, and here on the side you will find also paint colors, some safety information, and kit information as well. There are 198 parts, and length of the model will be 17.7, but they do not give any information about the wingspan. Here we have the other kits in the same scale, so in case you are interested, you can find some videos with them on our YouTube channel. And here on the rear side you will find the pictures of the finished model together with a short history note in 2 languages. And it's also written here that this kit is officially licensed by Yak constructor or engineering bureau, so it's quite cool. And now I'm opening the side seal or sticker seal, which is holding this flap in place. And now I'm going to open it. Just give me, oops, almost broke my camera. So I just need to pull it aside, take it out. Here you can see also that this is the standard box for Zvezda. There is nothing special, I would say. And just give me a second to open it. So here is what we have inside. As you can see, we have clear sprue together with decals on the top, but there are also 2 other bags with gray plastic parts. And as usual, these gray plastic parts, they are sealed, so we will be opening them in a few seconds. But let's start with what was on the top. It means decals and clear frame. So first of all, clear frame comes in form of this rectangular frame, so there is nothing unusual, I would say. As you can see, we have here canopy parts, and you will be able to copy the open cockpit with this part, so it's quite handy thing. And of course, just like any other Zvezda release, this one does not include any masks or templates for clear parts, so in case you would like to mask these parts, you will have to get your own mask set from Edward, maybe. Next, we continue with the decals. That's why I was talking about decals. So here we have all necessary symbols for several marking options, as far as you can see. We even have some decals for the cockpit, but there are no seat belts decals, so I would rather suggest to get some aftermarket PE in case you would like to get a proper finish in your aircraft. But otherwise, as I said, printing quality is really nice, and maybe I will leave it here while I'm opening another plastic bag with gray sprues. So just give me a moment. Okay. So what do we have here? First of all, we are going to start with a gray sprue, which is dedicated to fuselage halves, and in my opinion, it is quite interesting to see how these are molded. So let's zoom out a bit, maybe open the lenses so that it won't be that dark for you. So both halves, as you can see, they're molded together with the tail section, but note that here we have variety for the left fuselage half nose area in the side panel of the cowling, and of course the top cowling panel is also molded as a separate one-piece part, which is really great because you won't have any visible seams and gaps in this area, so it might be handy for some modelers. And as for the external features, if I zoom in here, you can see that we have nice imitation of the fabric surface. We also have rivets and the panel lines here. Maybe I can bring it closer so that you can understand what I'm talking about. And in 1/48 scale it looks impressive. Of course these lines are not that deep, but with some careful painting and weathering, maybe also not overdoing the paint layers, you'll be able to bring out these details. And if I flip it over, here inside you can see some guiding elements. We also have some minor features for the cockpit, but obviously cockpit will be assembled out of separate parts, so no worries, there will be some more elements to be installed into this area. And by the way, the cooling panels also had guiding elements, which is rather surprising feature in my opinion. Next, we continue with the Spru. What is the letter? It's Spru letter C. And here we have another surprise. We have quite nice power plant included out of the box. And yes, you do not have to pay anything extra. You get all this stuff out of the box. And it's even more impressive that we have all the pipes and wires copied here out of the box as well. We even have the pilot figure in here. So really great bonus for these modelers who love to open their models, and especially in 1/48 scale it might be a good opportunity to play with some painting and weathering techniques. And I can see that attachment points are reduced to the possible minimum, so it's also good because some parts will be tricky to get off the frame due to their thickness. As you can see, external features, they look really good. And of course, pilot is pre-shaped. He will be sitting in the cockpit as far as I can see. But it's not a problem because in the cockpit he will be looking even better. And of course, it's up to you whether you would like to have him inside or maybe you would like to have an empty cockpit, who knows. But all in all, I really like that engine and pilot are coming in the standard package, and it means that you don't have to get any aftermarket. You get it out of the box with really great features for this scale. Next, we continue with another interesting thing, because here you can see these subframes for the cockpit and also for the engine panel, I guess. This will be from the lower section, I guess. Or maybe it will be for the cockpit. We'll have to check. Here is, by the way, the control stick. We also have the separate hubs for the landing gear wheel tires. And as you can see, there are guiding elements inside. But obviously, if you would like to have more features in this area, it's better to go for resin parts from Edward. And also here you can see the machine guns, which will be installed in the nose area. So if we zoom in and start from this corner, you can see that the lower fuselage panel, which will be installed in the tail, it is also a separate part. So here you will not have any gaps and seams. This is really nice engineering in my opinion. Next, we continue with this thin parts for the cockpit. So it's really good that they are coming as a single piece parts. It means you won't have to waste your time trying to align all these tubes together. And as I said before, it might be worth investing into some PE parts so that this cockpit will be even better. And believe me, in 1/48 scale, such, I would say, investment will be noticeable, so that's why I'm recommending to get it. And here you can check these parts from the opposite side. Maybe I'll zoom out so that you can take a look at the whole sprue while I'm opening the next plastic bag. So just give me a moment. It is also a sealed plastic bag, but it's quite quick to open, so no worries. In a few seconds I will show you two sprues which are left for this plastic. Okay, so first of all we start with wing parts. Here you can see also some of the pilot parts as well. So the wing is divided in a typical design, so we have one lower panel and two top panels, but note that this one is molded together with the nose area from the lower section. We also have some engine parts here and also the tail surfaces. I can see also some parts for the engine bay as well, so it's worth zooming in again and maybe placing it like this so that you can see what I was talking about. Note that each tail wing, it should be glued out of two halves. We have also separate elevators here, separate rudder, as you can notice. Also pilot seat looks really good in my opinion. And here we have some parts for the exhaust stacks. They're given in several versions, so it will be important to pay attention on which one is used in your let's say, release or your marking. Here you can see that flaps are molded in, so you won't be able to drop them on your model, but ailerons are separate. This is a bit strange design in my opinion. I would rather have flaps separate as well. Inside you can see we have guiding elements here in the tail or wing edges, not the tail edges. So, and I can see also the trailing edges. Here we have the special slots for the ailerons, so that you have the proper fitment between these parts. But all in all, it looks really good. Okay. And one more thing for the gray plastic sprues. As you remember, we need to check the top panels as well. So here they are on the last sprue. We also have this special frame which can be installed instead of the cooling panel, I guess. So it's quite a tricky design, which might look good if in case you would like to expose the engine. So it will be exposed not only from the top but also from the side. Quite an interesting solution. And here you can see ailerons. We have also some parts for the nose section lower area. I can see several versions of the instrument panel, so we get a plain part for the decals, but obviously you can also use it for PE parts. And maybe if I zoom in here, you can take a closer look at what we have on the wings. We have the rivets here in the wing root area. Here you can see this panel, which will be handy for the exposed engine option. Next we continue here with landing gear legs. These are main landing gear legs. Here are two instrument panels, and next we continue with some minor elements which will be installed here and there. And if I flip it over, here inside we have some features for the main wheel wells. Obviously it's worth playing with some washes here, so that all these raised and, let's say, panel lines, raised features and panel lines, they will be exposed once you apply some weathering and washes. Next we have the color printed marking brochure. So as far as I can see, we have three marking options. Here they are. Let's close the lenses a bit, zoom in. So here is the first marking option with the aircraft number 3. Here are two others, 22 and 14, with this lightning on the side of the aircraft. All three are, I would say, typical Soviet camouflage for the fighter aircraft, so nothing unusual. And also we have, of course, the assembly manual. This one comes in black and white, what is not unusual for Zvezda, and I guess you will be not surprised as well. So here we have the short history note on the first page. We also have a small, let's say, announcement of the possible assembly options, so it will be up to you which one you would like to copy. And do not forget that this aircraft stand, it should be purchased separately. It is not included into the kit. We have parts map, but as usual, Zvezda does not show which parts are unused. And assembly process, as far as you can see, it starts with an engine, so you can see that it's really detailed power plant. That's why I was saying it's worth investing your time and maybe thinking how to expose it. Even if you don't want to build the aircraft without the nose panels, maybe it would be worth making them somehow removable, who knows, maybe on the magnets. Next we continue with assembly of the air intake and also the main wheel wells here. I can see the cockpit starts to be assembled here on the step 12. And then we continue with the cockpit walls, pilot seat. We decide whether we would like to have the pilot in the seat or not. We install also machine gun and landing gear parts, exhaust stacks. And here we continue with the tail landing gear. We install all this stuff between fuselage halves. And then we again have to decide whether we would like to expose the engine or we would like to close it behind the cooling panel. Next we continue with some options or assembly steps for the open version. And here on the last stages we will have to install the landing gear wheels. We also have the stenciling guide and some suggestions for how to attach this aircraft to the stand. So, all in all, we have a really great kit in 1/48 scale, which should be already available, as I said. And of course, again, I would like to say thank you for, let's say, opportunity to check this kit. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such release here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.